Okay, so Ronald, on the new app, it says it's a decentralized wallet. But how is it a decentralized wallet? There's only one token, one crypto that's decentralized.
There's only one token.
Ethereum.
Ethereum.
Ethereum is not decentralized as well, actually. Okay, the meaning of decentralized wallet, how to say, it's one of the ways that we actually call ourselves, because the way we handle the CTOs. So, if you're talking about Ethereum or Bitcoin or LDC, whatever, right? They rely on nodes, and these nodes needs to be hosted somewhere. In the earlier days, okay, it's hosted from the users' apartments, homes, garages, with whatever. But nowadays, most of these are all hosted in cloud servers like Amazon, right? So you're not really decentralized. But the way the nodes communicate with each other, that is a decentralized system. Okay, so
But doesn't private keys mean you're decentralized?
no. What happens? Decentralized wallet means that you do not need the server to give you all this information. Okay, the servers itself don't have your private keys. Your private keys are generated from the wallet itself.
Right.
Okay, and only you will know about it. Okay, but most of these wallets don't actually do that. What they do is they would send and they would use an API. For example, like let's say Bitcoin, right? They will use the API that is available from let's say the Bitcoin core itself, and they would call the command called create wallet. And when you create wallet, your keys and all will be generated on the node, and it will be sent to the client, and you will say that, oh, this is your key. But now you know that you have a copy on the server, you have a copy on the phone. But that's not the way it works. The way it works is you're supposed to create all of this on the phone itself, okay? And the address is generated, but this address is not on chain because there's no transaction. So you need to actually do a transaction. Then everybody will know that this wallet address exists. So that is the way we actually handle the wallets.
Okay, and then you said to us back in May, you said you're going to show circulating supply reserve.
Yes.
Are you going to be showing that?
Yes, we're going to be showing that as well. We're actually working on it. As I said before, our focus is to actually do in this order. The first is to actually generate wealth for the members. Whatever generates wealth for the members will come first. The second one that will come out is actually, whichever will increase the speed or the stability, that will come in the second. And the third is only UI and the rest of the display stuff and things like that. But if we were to move it in this order, which means that things that I could show to the members to actually get faith, to get the confidence and things like that, this are always on the last. All right, and one of the things that I've been being asked many times is to create the dashboard for CTO, just like how Ethereum was a dashboard. But the way of how Array works, okay, is like this. 3 of us will have our own personal chain. Okay, when I do a transaction with you, I would know what you have with me, so our chain will reflect. Okay, if Lulu is actually in this particular nearby proximity, she will also be a witness. So she will also have that transaction in there. So what you are actually watching on our the chain is, I will have whatever I have in mind will be maybe longer or shorter than what you have, because our transactions are never the same. I might have done 60 transactions, you might have done 4 transactions. So what you see on chain is only 4 transactions. I will say 60, which is your 4 will be here, if I've done 4 with you. So it's a different concept. That's the way we make our chain fast. The way why is Ethereum slow and the rest of them slow is because there's this single chain that everybody needs to sync. When this needs to sync, okay, that causes the bottleneck on the bandwidth and things like that. Okay, so this is the big problem that.
So are we going to get a public chain?
Ours is a public chain.
No, but that we can see.
Yeah, but you only see whatever is yours and what you have transacted with the company or with the system.
So, but if I send Lulu, if I transfer,
yeah, you will see yours
You
going
see
out, and she can see hers. Yes, but it's not the same.
Right. So
Yeah.
So that's part of the technology.
Yes.
That
makes it fast.
The bid beta.
Yeah.
But you know how on the public blockchain we can confirm. I go to Etherscan, I can confirm.
Yeah, that's from us because you see, Etherscan is because it's written by Ethereum. We'll come up with the APIs and things like that. We will come up with the APIs a bit later on. We'll come up with the dashboard first, then we come with the APIs for anyone else to write. But it's still going to be the same.
So people can say, well, no, Ronald's manipulating stuff in the background.
Mm-hmm.
So how can we say that Ronald is not manipulating stuff in the background?
Well, until I come up with that.
Oh, okay. So basically, until we do the.
Yeah.
Right, guys. So live from Malaysia with the man himself, the superstar that kind of put all this together, Cloud Token. So, guys, you know me. It's Tony and Lulu, and you know we're gonna go through the hard questions.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not hard for Ronald, but just to get a better understanding. And this is really to help build a community of cloud. And that's really what it's about. And it is a win-win. You guys all know that. Now it's just a question of let's get those little, we're 95% of the way there, in my opinion. But what about those little 5% of questions that people have that are gnawing at them? Say, well, I want to do it, but I don't. And let's get through that. So the big question on people's minds right now is, of course, conversion, right? They're taking a long time. 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, and then we switch to USDT.
Mm-hmm.
Still, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
So can you kind of just talk to us about that? And I know the BTC was
Mm-hmm.
going to be another option to reduce the nodes, reduce the burden on the nodes. So can you even talk about the nodes a little bit? Because people don't know what's a node, and stuff like that.
Okay. As we know that the Ethereum has actually faced a lot of problems in the past 2-3 months due to the release of Ethereum 2, which is going to be based on POS. So when it's being done as POS, there's no more mining algorithm like how it used to be. So a lot of the miners left, okay, and now you have only a handful of miners left, which actually increased the mining fee for Ethereum. The mining fee of Ethereum actually has jumped a lot, and it's actually more expensive to do in Ethereum than in Bitcoin, right? And so that itself has created a lot of bottlenecks for everyone, okay, including us. So the fundamentals of how the transaction works is, okay, there are these machines or servers that are called nodes, right, that actually syncs the database of the Ethereum. So it needs to actually maintain updated all the time. And what we can do with these nodes are we can actually send transactions through them. But before a transaction can actually be processed and written to a node, okay, we need to wait for miners to actually say that I have found a solution and I can write the transactions into a block. And in this memory pool itself, it is ordered by fee. Okay, there's a fee. The higher the fee, the faster it gets transacted. It's because the miners will take all the highest fees first and actually put in there, right? So now what we are doing is, okay, we are we are having too much of these transactions that is uncompleted, okay, which are pending. When these pending transactions, there are a lot, okay, that node gets locked. Okay, that's what's happening now. When one node gets locked, we need to create another node and another node and another node. So now we started with one, then we have 6 nodes. And each of these nodes we have to actually put in assets for a transaction, okay? Because you need gas, right? And you need transactions, you need to actually do a payout and things like that. Each of these nodes, we actually put it in with, let's say, 5,000 Ethereum, or maybe 10,000 Ethereum each. But they get dropped down because the conversions does actually go through. When a big conversion comes in, like for example, is 9999 CTOs, right? Some of these nodes itself, because it is actually round robin mode, it might hit a node which don't have so much of paid up assets.
20, 30.
Yeah, and what happens if it gets stuck? Right. So when you have a lot of this, and it builds up, okay, when you keep building up and keep building up, then more people get flooded because it's we're just gonna go through. So the way to solve this is actually, you look at it this way, okay? You can capture my hand, right? So these are all the backlog, okay? This is whatever is new. So we are trying to clear, but this guy is also moving as well. So it's actually moving this way, which means that we are never solving the problem, right? Because there's always this bunch of people that is waiting.
Cannot cancel.
So what we're going to do is we actually worked out a few solutions. The first solution is I make CTO DP have more usage. So instead of converting, because what they want is I want to convert to maybe book a hotel. Well, I have that for you. I want to withdraw money. I have an ATM card for you now. So that will actually clear off that conversion issue, because less here, so I can actually catch up, right? And our OTC is opening soon. So when our OTC opens, you don't need to convert anymore. Just sell it to the OTC. OTC will shoot you with the fiat.
Okay.
And we will earn. So we're trying to solve it indirectly, because number one, blockchain is never fast.
Will the BTC come in?
So RMO license is the license that you need to get. There's a few licenses. RMO 1, which lets you sell to the public. Okay. RMO 2 and 3, there's 4 of them actually. RMO 3 is actually for selling to very sophisticated investors or banks, institutions, and things like that. So these are the licenses that we need to get. It's the same like how Singapore is as well. It's something to do with securities.
So what is an RMO?
You have to check it out. So
Okay.
what is the short form? The full acronym for it?
But that's in
right?
Asia.
It's in Asia, right?
Okay.
It's the same with US, if I'm not mistaken, right? You need to get the RMO license for it, all right? So
I just heard you're Malaysian.
Yeah.
You said you need to get the RMO la.
yeah,
La.
Right?
Okay.
So we're trying to get just not only this, but we're going to try and get a endorsement from the Ministry of Finance and the Central Bank for this as well. Of course, it's a very difficult thing, but we believe that we can get it done in 3 months. So we have already we're working with a local agency. Not agency. It's a corporacy. Which is association, okay, of one of the biggest associations in Malaysia, to sandbox cloud system, but they're going to actually rebrand it to be something else, so to be cloud something, cloud,
Okay.
all right, but just only for their own members, all right. And from this itself, we're going to have a showcase to the Ministry of Finance, saying that we are helping this bunch of people to increase their wealth. Okay, it's a social community project. Okay, and 70% of the revenue retains back in this particular entity, 30% goes back to cloud. Okay, so we're doing that, and we get the license as well. So this is one thing that we're actually building within the next 3 months. So this whole entire year itself, we're only focusing on getting all the necessary groundwork done. And next year is focused on wealth generation and all the products and services. Things like insurance and other things, it will all come in. Okay, we don't need to have our own insurance license, but we can actually be part of a reseller, okay, for a insurance product. Okay, so these are the things that we are actually going into. But of course, we have to check with our lawyers. Okay, what can be done, what cannot be done, blah blah blah, and they will actually advise us. It's the same thing like CSR, right? The CSR license enables us to actually do crypto to fiat trade. Okay, and that is the license that we're going to actually plug into the company itself in order to be able to do crypto trading. And the banks that we're looking at there's 4 banks. One of the delay in our CSR license is to get the 4th bank. We have Banco, which is one of the Philippine banks. We are working. We have a account, okay, with a land bank, okay, which is the cards that we're going to release in the next quarter. Because now we have Mastercard. We're going to work with them for Union Pay. So planting for China, right? Because now for them to carry the Mastercard to go to China, it's actually a headache. They can't actually use it. So we're going to get them the Union Pays. And the 3rd bank is called Coconut Bank of Philippines, right? So it's something like the agricultural bank, right? So it's an agricultural bank, but it's actually large. And the 4th one, I forgot what's the name for it. So we're now waiting for the last bank to actually come in. Then we can actually get our CSR license out. We're talking about 2 weeks. Worst is end of the month. Now, why we are not like the others, like Binance or Coinbase or whatever, just go as can just shut down anytime. These 4 banks are all government banks. So
they're more legit.
You're much more safer. All right, your money parked there. All right, and so that's one thing that we are.
Can you really tell us detail? Okay, Grab is available now.
Yeah.
I can go and pay. I need to understand. So I was talking to you on text. I remember international companies, international brands that want to accept CTO, real life situations. I want to buy a Rolex. Right. So I want to buy a Rolex. I go into a Rolex store and I buy it. Now the thing is, the deal you made with Grab, what I heard was, well, CTO or Cloud had given Grab X dollars, right? So we 5 million or whatever it was, and so that's their sort of escrow. So when I use Grab and I have to pay 10 ringgit, local ringgit, the driver gets his share. Grab is going to get their share. No,
that's not all it is.
Okay,
so how it works is this: we actually bought the Grab Pay credits.
Okay.
At a discount.
Okay.
So it's a 3% discount.
Okay.
Sorry, it's a 5% discount. Sorry.
Okay.
5% discount. So for every dollar, I'm getting 95 cents.
For every dollar that we spend.
And for every 95 cents, I get $1. Sorry.
For every 95 cents, you get 5 cents.
I get for every $1, I get 5 cents.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So it's 95 cents to us, the cost. Okay.
Yeah.
So we actually bought a whole bunch of this. Actually, it's like we paid them like I think, if I'm mistaken, it's like 5 million or something like that.
Yeah.
All right. And it stays inside there. And what happens is, whenever a member takes CTO to redeem, okay, for the Grab credits. For example, denomination is for Malaysia, you have like 20, 100 or something, 20 or 50 or 100 or something. So for 20, we'll just deduct 20 and then we'll shoot you a $20 voucher code. You take this, you go to your Grab, okay, you insert, you actually redeem, and then you get $20. And that's all Grab stuff. So it's actually quite simple for us. Same thing like for our hotels. We work with Marriott this way. We work with Marriott this way as well. We pay them X amount, okay, and we collect CTOs from the users, members. The members goes to the Marriott hotels, and we can stay there.
So can we do it with international brands?
Yeah, of course you can. So Matthew is the person to actually look for all of this time.
Okay, so we can. Okay, so we have a lot of that connection.
Yeah, the BDs will actually work with this. So the next one is we're going to work with AirAsia. So automatically it's 8% discount, and we have to pay the maximum money first.
Okay, so what?
Come up with a training app, just like Haas online training system, which is ours is web-based, and you can actually load in up to 28 different exchanges into this app itself, and you can actually manage your portfolio. We have a lot of trader boards we can choose. One of them is Friday, and the rest of them you can actually choose. We have scalpel engines, we have actually accumulation engine, all these boards are all there for you to use. It's free, you can come in for free, but you have to do everything yourself. All right, you have copy trades. These are the things that eToro gives you. You have simulations you can do, which is what IQ Option is like. IQ Option does a lot with trading shares, right? Stocks and things like that, plus crypto. So this is a rendition of that. So we're going to call it C-Trade itself. When you're using this to actually get our CSI license, this is the due diligence part. So it's actually past that due diligence process itself. So by next year itself, this thing will be launched, and the cost of trade is CTOs. Just like finance beginning.
Wow. Yeah, what I would like to ask is like those investors like $1 million, they said they have cash, but they cannot get $1 million Ethereum or Bitcoin in Dubai, so or other countries. So
once you have a CSI license, we can actually help. We can help.
Yeah, so but they need to proof of fund and
of course. Everything needs to have an AML and KYC because
okay.
that's the basis of things.
Yeah. If you can
so let's do the last
yeah.
question. I know you have lots of people waiting.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for the time. Rogue. Can you tell us about Rogue? I know that's like your pet project.
You see, one of the things that I like about and one thing that fuels me to actually do cloud is to bring wealth to the masses. And Jarvis itself is cheap, but only for us as the middle class is cheap. But there are the lower class or the lower income people whereby they can't afford 500. So what we wanted to do is to create something that can let them get a chance to actually change their lives. First, I was thinking of using, why can't I take Jarvis, put it to $10 and then let it come in? The thing is, it does not make sense because the pool itself will be too small and the yield itself, I won't have that much, right? So I was talking to the guy from that company, and he's a brilliant guy, Middle East guy, but in Malaysia for 20 years. Super brilliant, and he told me that there's this project that uses DAI, and DAI will be a loan to exchanges that is doing lending, margin calls or options and things like that. So there are a lot of exchanges that needs a huge pool of money and grow. If there's 1 million people that is investing, let's say putting $10 in, that is 10 million. But every day they put in $10, that's $300, right? Now, this pool is 300 million in size. We take it and we lend it. The yield is about 17% a year.
Lend it where?
To these networks. So you have like Celsius network, you have exchanges and things like that, right? So the yield is about 70% a year. Talking about per month is about 1 point something percent. Let's take 1% as the reward. The X something percent goes back into the profit pool. So we earn money, right? Now, you put in $10, 10 million, 1%, 100K. 10 winners, 100 winners, 1,000 each. So that is 100 times return, but only for the 100 people. They can take it, they will receive it in CTOs, which they can use it to reinvest into Jarvis. Now, from a rope, you become Jarvis, then you can earn from that. Now, the money in the pool itself is still there, so it accumulates. Now, when the pool itself is now 110, 120 mil, blah, blah, blah. From 100 people pay out, I can become 1,000, 10,000. So more people will get. So that's the project.
Cool.
So.
Okay, Tony, I think, I think the time is enough. I thought I want to do ending of my feeling, represent the team that they, we have a nice dinner, like we have a couple of days in Malaysia, and then we take one day to Singapore, and then before we have dinner, we all believe in God, and then we do a prayers, and then one of the prayer is for Ronald.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself, have a good health, and really touching, because when you mention about donation, charity, I feel the heart of that you have, and then I hope you can achieve everything at the speed, and then with the team of the leader, I think it will be successful. Yeah.
Can you say hello to Canada, Rob? Hello to a Canadian team.
Hi, Canadian team. I'm